The Aftermess.
All right, y'all, let's get it cracking. It's the Aftermess podcast. Morning mess, Joey boy.
What up, it's JD?
And it's Sienna. And producer Jules.
All right, we are here. Remember to subscribe, hit up those notifications, enable that so you can get notified. The podcast usually drops every Friday. Okay, we're going to have some fun today on the podcast. Me and producer Jules went across the street to get the life story of the new owner of the liquor store. And while we were walking, the guy's great. I love this guy.
Yeah, but he talks forever.
But he always hooks us up with something free.
Yeah,
well,
like,
I think he has
and then.
So we walked out of mid-conversation. But before that,
yes,
we saw a game of chicken that we knew. In downtown Phoenix, everything's one way, predominantly. And there was a dude in a car riding the wrong way. And I didn't even notice it until Jules brought it up. I'm like, and he was just cruising.
well, because we cross this street every day. I go to this store across the street all the time.
Yeah.
And I was walking across, and he was coming from the left, and I was like, that doesn't seem right. I was like, I've never seen a car come from the left before. I was like, wait, it's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
But then we looked to the right, and he was on the train tracks, and here's the train.
The train.
They
coming.
were head
Wait,
on.
the light rail was on the way?
Yes.
Oh,
shit.
We're like, what the fuck? And we were just like, give me the popcorn. Like, what's
We
going
both pulled out our phones. We're like,
Not stopped.
Yeah.
Not any of that. You're like, wow.
No, we pulled out our phone like an idiot. We didn't. We could have yelled out, "Hey man, you're going the wrong way!" We're just like,
I don't think he would have heard you, to be honest.
What in the world store is wrong with you
He was
guys?
going like 3 miles an hour. He's
Yeah.
just cruising. He was in a PT Cruiser.
yeah.
Really?
Obviously, if you're gonna go against a train, you drive a PT Cruiser.
Yeah.
You're obviously gonna win that chicken fight. I think he realized it, and luckily you can make a right, and he made a right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters downtown. After living here for about a month or so, you see a lot of things.
Yeah. If you ever see Sienna walking downtown, she's doing this. She's just praying for people. Like, and also with a lot of praying being had in downtown.
A lot.
That dude almost died.
He needs to pray for him.
Yeah. Give him a prayer.
Our Father who, no. Just go into a whole ass prayer.
All right, we're going to actually talk about, whoa, that was dope. Did you see that? That was God. During the show this week, because we call it the Aftermess podcast, so we kind of talk about stuff that's happening during the week on our show. We're going to elaborate about religion. All right, we're going to talk about how we were brought up. Right? And the biggest thing in my life right now is my son Cruz, which in Spanish, Cruz is cross. Did you know that? Cruz is cross. And he was with his mom. I'm co-parenting with his mom. Co-parenting going great with Amber. But they were watching, they couldn't go to church, so she puts it on TV, and they watched church on TV, and Father and Pastor Todd and Travis there. And Cruz told mommy he saw Jesus while he closed his eyes and was praying.
Which is insane.
Yes. So she's like, you saw Jesus? She's like, yeah. And I want to get baptized.
At the same time.
So she calls me up and I'm like, what is going on? So we called Cruz on the show because our biggest thing was to us, and we'll discuss religion, was what did Jesus look like? All right. We ask a 9-year-old because obviously there's 3 people you trust in life: kids, drunk people, and drunken kids. They're always going to tell the truth.
Yes.
Cruz is not drunk. So.
I hope not. He's 9.
But he told us what Jesus looked like. I'm going to let you know what my 9-year-old son said Jesus looked like, if you're wondering. But first, we're going to do 30-second Jesus. Right, Jules?
30-second Jesus.
Let me get my pen before we start.
All right.
I want
Pull the
everybody
timer
to
out.
draw out what you think Jesus looks like. Okay? You're going to do a timer. Hold on. I'll drop my pen here. You got 30 seconds to draw.
30 seconds on the clock.
Okay.
And ready, set, go.
JD's cheating, by the way. He started.
Oh, I said it for 30 minutes, but it's okay. I'll
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. It's not going to go ding, but I will say ding. I can't draw.
I can't draw to save my
I
damn
literally
life.
cannot draw for shit.
I can, so.
Of course you can. Oh my God, this is really bad. Ah.
Shit is so poppin', bro.
Mine is so disgusting.
Oh my gosh. 3.
I think Cruz drew
Fuck.
this.
I think mine, but
It's done. Time. I don't want
I don't want this to be shown.
I do.
Gotcha.
Hey, pencils down.
Okay,
No, I
pencils
was
down.
signing mine to make it more authentic in case
Okay.
I sell it.
Smart.
All right.
Who's going first?
We'll do alphabetical J.
You guys are all J.
Jesus, J-U, J-O, J-D. You first, J-D.
All right, so
That's how we're going to handle it from now on.
J-U,
J-D.
J-D.
all right, so this is mine.
Why does he have a cross for a body?
Wow. Is he already up?
Yeah, you know.
Is he already up?
He crucified.
Okay, I did not.
Wow.
I did not draw the crucifix.
Cancel him.
Yeah, and so then he has obviously the J, and he has sandals with
Right.
a little line there.
He looks like a Lego Jesus.
Yeah,
Why you got Lego Jesus?
be a mean dad.
Okay. I'm
Lego
sorry.
Jesus is in the Lego movie, actually.
and yeah, then he has obviously super curly hair,
Super curly hair.
exotic hair,
Exotic hair.
exotic hair.
Yes.
So yeah,
Santa's dad.
pretty cool stuff.
That's where I get my exotic hair from.
It's not too bad, right?
He's all of our father.
Yeah. All right,
I
Joe.
kind of, I this how
Oh, that's good.
did that like in 20
That
seconds.
looks.
I picture him in
really
a
good.
robe like JD, sandals.
Oh, yeah.
I always pictured Jesus in sandals, a robe,
It's a good drawing, Joey.
straight. Yeah, I did that real quick.
Why is that so good?
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that robe is fucking
Yeah, the body is really good. And so are the
know.
sandals.
Yeah, sandals.
Yeah, the sandals are like sketched. like you're a freaking artist.
Beard and stringy hair. I think the way we were all grew up. And I do ask Cruz when we talk to Cruz what color are his eyes, because that was the always mysterious thing with me and Jesus or God. What color are his eyes? Because I was always brought up that Jesus had blue eyes. Now, if you guys know me, I'm a sucker for blue eyes, green eyes.
I think he has siren eyes like that girl you love.
Oh my God, the siren eyes is the best phrase of the week. Explain what siren eyes are again.
Siren eyes, like they get you in like a trance, like type.
Yes.
Thing. Not blue, they're not green, they're not gray. They're like a mixture of like this crazy color. Very select few people have them.
And you guys seen the girl that I met, she has siren eyes.
She has freaking
Beautiful.
siren eyes.
And all of us, I'm attracted to it. So I think Jesus had siren eyes. Okay?
yeah.
He started them.
He started siren eyes.
Yes.
All right. He
did create.
Jules?
I can't really draw, so
That looks like,
I drew sandals.
let's see, a little back right there. Is that good?
His cross is there.
The cross is there.
Yeah, I added that on last second. I think I drew my little flip flop things upside down.
Jesus is cold. He doesn't have his hands. His hands
Yeah,
are
he doesn't have
inside.
any
They're
limbs.
inside. Yes. It's windy day. He has a Beyonce moment, or like a fan is on him. Like,
Yes.
Shaq.
you
got too
better
nervous.
work, Jesus. You better work, Jesus. His hair's blowing in the wind. Okay.
He's a paraplegic.
Okay.
He's
There it
giving
is.
demure.
Yeah.
Demure. He's
If you guys don't
cutesy.
stop this demure shit right away.
He's very mindful.
Okay.
Very cutesy.
All right.
And actually, you know what? It's a woman. God is a woman. Ariana
God is a
Grande.
woman.
God is a woman, period.
All right.
All right, we
Okay.
all know that's a lie.
Cien's.
Say that again louder. You said it under your voice.
I
Say it with your
digress.
chest if you believe that.
About to crucify
Oh,
you, bro.
crucify this
Yeah,
mother.
JD hates women.
I will throw Jesus chancla at you.
Dog, you're so hip hop, bro, with yours. That's why I know you used the
know.
graffiti shit. That, you're a good drawer.
Really?
Yeah, go ahead.
So ready for Cien's
All right,
right now.
Cien's.
Okay,
Let's
so
go.
I went Talladega Nights with this. You know how they all have
Not Talladega. Talladega Jesus.
you know how they all have different versions of Jesus in their head? I did casual Jesus. So I have him with a man bun. And I put some
nice.
Jordans on him. Can you see it? Is it blurry? Yeah, so he has a man bun right there.
Man
He
behind
looks
it.
like his head looks
you need to
like
move
a
it back.
sumo wrestler.
And then
That's sumo Jesus.
and he has Jordans on. Jesus wears J's.
J's.
And then he's praying because why not? But I forgot his beard. I ran out of time.
No beardless sumo wrestling face,
Casual.
casual Jesus.
Put it back a little bit
Sumo
further for the
wrestling.
camera.
All right, just go to Tucson. Walk to Tucson.
Yes.
Right there.
There he is.
All right, casual Jesus.
I love his little. It's
pretty good.
Yeah, his little man bun.
Okay, so we asked my son Cruz, 9 years old, saw Jesus in a vision, and Jesus told him that he wants to get baptized. So that's what we're going to be planning right now. Like literally this weekend, I think baptisms where they go to the church, they dunk you in front of the congregation.
They dunk you.
Yeah, in your J's. Next week, and me and his mom think that's too quick, so maybe next month, maybe is when it's going to happen. But we asked Cruz, what did Jesus look like? And that was a question JD was asking. Like, man, that's a great question. So we called Cruz, like, Cruz, what did Jesus look like? He said he had brown hair. Mm-hmm. It was curly. Mm-hmm. So it was curly hair, shoulder length. Mm-hmm. He had brown skin, he said, the color of daddy's skin. So like, I'm like, what would you say, medium brown?
Yeah. You're tan.
medium
You're
brown, town brown, and tan brown, a little darker brown. And he said he wore a dirty white robe. Mm-hmm. And I asked the color of his eyes. He couldn't see the color of his eyes.
Yeah, he wasn't too close, right? He said he didn't really pay attention.
He didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
He didn't really see the
I'm a
eyes.
little skeptical
About?
that what he describes looks like most of the photos that are used to represent Jesus.
Most of the
In the
photos
world.
that in the world that's what
With
Jesus.
long curly brown hair and a dirty white robe.
We didn't say it was light. I thought Jesus' hair was long. Or with the picture,
Chris
he said
described
curly.
it as Gia's hair.
Yeah, Gia's hair.
length, at
But the
least.
thing that was, it wasn't curly. The Jesus that I always see is not curly hair. It's always straight,
Yeah.
almost like your hair.
Okay, I have Jesus hair.
Yeah, you got Jesus definitely hair. And the Jesus that I always saw was like his eyes are open, so you can see he has blue eyes.
Yeah, true.
And stringy long hair.
True.
So I didn't, and then he's not like brown skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I would say
He's lighter. It's like
lighter.
JD.
Yeah, like the Jesus I always saw looks white.
Yeah,
JD's
exactly.
White
black.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, you
White.
said dark, and that was like the first thing I thought of. I was like, oh yeah, my skin.
JD looks like a nice little cream soda today.
Yes,
Little
right.
creamsicle.
So that's what my son, who got the vision of Jesus, says that's what he looks like, and I'm gonna believe him because kids don't lie, and that's what he thought. So I thought it was like, hey, let's talk about religion because I think we all come from a different background of growing up. Different types of religion. I thought we talked about this on the show. I thought JD's story was quite interesting because your grandparents and dad both started churches.
Yes. So my grandparents started a Baptist church in Michigan, and they both went to, I believe my dad as well, they went to a university called Bobby Jones. I believe it's in, I don't
Isn't he on
think it's in
radio?
Michigan. No.
Didn't we just meet
He's a
him?
golfer. Bobby Jones, I think, is a golfer. But no, they went to the university, and yeah, the Baptist practices are, I don't want to say pretty extreme, but like I know we used to have to hide our Vegas trips. I know that was a huge.
'Cause that's a sin.
Yes, yeah. I don't know the like integral parts of the Baptist faith, but you know it's very hymn based, and they did it for like 60 years. They had their own church for 60 years, and then I remember when my mom and my dad met, that was like a huge, you know, whatever they were doing in their lives were, you know, there were some issues there because my dad and my mom started a Christian church. So then I grew up in a Christian household. So my dad kind of got a little away from the Baptist faith.
So your grandfather started a Baptist church. You guys went to that. Then your dad decided to stray and do a Christian church.
Yeah, before I was born. So
Which one
yeah,
do you like
yeah.
better?
Huh?
Which one do you like better?
Oh, the Christian church. The Baptist faith is really intense. I mean, it's like, it's very, I don't even know how to describe it. Traditional. Have you
Traditional.
guys been to a Baptist church before?
No, I haven't.
It's like old school hymns.
Very, yeah.
Very biblical.
Very.
It's very, very biblical.
Right.
They
from what I
follow it
remember.
pretty
Pretty
Word,
much
word,
to
word,
the
word,
T.
word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, how do you even start a church? Like, how do you just wake up one day and you're like, oh, I'm going to start a whole ass church?
Great question. You said whole ass church.
Sorry, Father.
Wait, what are the haps on that?
Don't take my phrase.
What's the haps?
That's how Santa starts her prayers. Hey man, what's the hat?
All right, what's the haps? What's going to be going on in my life today? I think you just honestly, it's a group of people and then you just come together. I really think it's as simple as that. I don't know. I think
That's a great question.
No,
like,
it's a really
do you
good
need
question.
like permission or code, or do you like that's
Yeah, for like taxes and stuff, because
Yeah.
there is a business side to churches, so I'm sure it's a business, I would guess.
yeah.
But I don't really know.
How many people were in your dad's church?
I mean, my dad's church got pretty poppin'. Probably 300-400 people.
Oh wow! Did he have to do different services? Like
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah, early service, late service.
Does Pop still preach?
No, he doesn't preach
No,
anymore.
he doesn't anymore.
No, but yeah, my grandpa's church was one service, and yeah, it was pretty intense.
Were you in
Yeah.
the band?
Huh?
Were you in the band?
Well, they had a choir at the Baptist church.
Were you in the choir?
Nah.
No?
I mean, I can sing if I need to, but
Go ahead, do a little song, do a little hallelujah.
Some Ave Maria.
hallelujah.
Okay, that's very rich.
But they were two very distinct churches, like as far as faith is concerned. I mean, I don't want to say Baptist is like they didn't outlaw, but it was definitely black and white, if that makes sense. Whereas the Christian church that I grew up on was very welcoming. Like there was no judgment. Whereas I think the Baptist one that my grandpa was at was like, you better be all in type ordeal.
Really?
Yeah, like you live the life from the moment you wake up.
So your grandfather came off the Mayflower and like we going to church.
You know, we would pray in the car before every trip. Like so. We would
we
get in the car,
we
we'd
do that
pray.
after a road trip. Road trips we pray
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Whether we're going to the supermarket,
Really?
the whole shebang.
Do you remember the prayer?
No, it was just like
Quick prayer.
praying for safe travels.
Oh, I'm not mad at that.
All that stuff.
Do you go to church now at all?
I haven't found one in Arizona yet.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
And I'm a little skeptical of those big churches. I feel
Yeah.
like I've seen enough on the internet where like some of these pastors I don't really trust.
Right.
So that's
Yeah,
not my
trust issues.
excuse, but I'm
Right.
just saying like
Sounds like an excuse. If you ever go down Baseline, I call that religious row. You go on Baseline, there's a church in every corner for like 3 miles. There's like 37 churches off Baseline. It's,
From like 7th Street to 16th Street.
bro,
Yeah.
right? I used to live right there. My first house when I moved to Phoenix was on Baseline and 16th Street.
Must
Yeah.
be the border to hell.
Well, maybe. I don't know, but like literally every half a block, there's a on each side church.
Yeah.
Church here, church there, church. It's
I know
wild.
exactly what area you're talking about.
Sundays, Baseline is cracking with traffic. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And also, like, my mom believes more in, like, the divine now. So I think I'm trying to figure out where my beliefs, like, because I'm kind of how you were talking about how you grew up on 3 religious households or 3 different religions. I know you're going to dive into that, but I'm kind of trying to figure out, because there are certain things that I believe in all 3 of them. You know, because
Yeah.
I definitely know the biblical side of things. I know, like, what the Bible says. And then the Christian side is like very welcoming. You don't want to judge people. And then there's like the divine where you really believe that the universe, like you ask for the universe. And,
Manifesting and you talk-
manifesting
yeah.
and stuff like that. So I really, it's tough to know what direction to kind of go in.
Yeah. Let's speak. I was raised on 3 different religions. I grew up kind of the same as Sienna, Catholic religion, baptized. One thing I never did, it was, what's after baptism? You do your confirmation.
Your communion and then your confirmation.
I never did that.
Okay, see, I have all my sacraments, obviously, besides dying and being a priest or a nun.
Yeah.
So I have all mine.
Did you ever do confessionals?
Yes.
You did?
There was a time once a month in private school, Catholic school, that we would go and they would set it up and they would have different priests come around the diocese and they would come to the church and we would do confession.
Did you confess when you stole Ivan away from that other woman?
I was gonna say, what's your best confession?
I wasn't in church when that happened. This was in college, but yeah, that was way past when I started going to church. But anyway, we would do that, and you would think that you would come out feeling better because that's just like what I was taught, which I know that it is a thing, but I haven't done it since probably high school. So going on 10
What was your
years.
question?
I was going to say, what would you confess now, or give me one of your most salacious
It's
confessions?
so funny because they would give us a list of sins before going in there.
Like pick a sin to confess about?
Giving you this rundown of, okay, this is a sin. So excessive drinking, gluttony, porn, like all this shit they would give you.
I just put all the above.
Yeah, literally all the above. But it's so funny because one time I went to church with my cousin and his family and we did confession. And I came out and I was just a little girl and he was like, hey, what'd you confess? And I was like telling him and his dad was like, hey, don't ask her what she just told the priest over there. But
Yeah.
no, I can't think of anything crazy besides like drinking in high school or having sex before marriage type thing.
You confess that?
I probably did, yeah.
Yeah, really. Wow, I never did that. I never did the confession. Well, because I was baptized like Sienna into the Catholic religion, and I was born in Philly, East Coast. I have a big Puerto Rican family, all in Philly, Jersey, New York, and a lot in Puerto Rico. But by the time I was 5, my parents moved to East LA. My dad was a troublemaker, and they're like, "You keep getting in trouble, you're just gonna do time, whatever." So a friend invited him to move to LA, and my dad picked up my mom, me. I was like 4 or 5. My brother was like 1 or 2, still in diapers, and we just traveled all the way to East LA. We slept on my dad's friend's floor for months, living on a floor, and my dad was just trying to pick up where he left off just to start a new life in LA. And we were Catholic for a little bit, and then my dad got into Santeria religion. Now, Santeria, it's like a Caribbean, African, Christian spirituality kind of religion. It's really different, and it's predominantly Cubans and Puerto Ricans. It comes from like Africa, and that was a whole different religion to where you worship like a spirit. It's not so much everyone worships one God. Like you get baptized and you worship Like mine was called Chango, and I worship Chango, and I wear these collales, which are like beads, red and white. Now you have to kiss them before putting them on, and kiss them before, and you prayed before going into your house and leaving, and it was like a whole thing. And the coolest thing about that one, there was like a big ranch in LA, and there was one padrino, a godfather, and I got to play with kids, and it was like a potluck, and everyone brought food, and you ate, and that was kind of like your weekends, and it was a religion kind of what my dad got into, and we kind of got into it as well, but I was still kind of like what happened to Catholicism, Catholic, religion. And then East LA got really bad with gangs, and my parents moved to Burbank, and then they didn't know what to do with me. As summers, I needed to meet friends, and they shipped me off to a YMCA camp every summer for like 3 summers, and it was a Christian camp. So for like a month, I was going to these Christian camps. My dad was in Santeria, and then I was raised Catholic. So I was confused, and kind of like JD, I took a little bit of the things that I believed in that made me feel good about each religion, and some of the stuff I didn't agree with. So I was kind of raised on 3 different religions for the age of, born, because you get baptized when you're usually a baby, till like 13, 14. So 14 years of being confused of like, okay, what am I? Because people would ask me, what religion are you? I was like, well, my dad is... It's hard to explain to kids what Santeria is, because usually when you wake up, you know what Christianity is and Catholic is. But it definitely became, for me, helped me understand and become the person that I am, not to judge people, because I don't appreciate people forcing their religion on you. I don't like, that's not my thing. I don't force people. I don't judge you on your religion. I would never do that to my kids. So when my son Cruz says, I saw Jesus and I want to get baptized Christian religion, I'm like, okay, Cruz has chosen. Mm-hmm. If you ask Jojo, my 19-year-old, Jojo's skeptical.
Yeah.
Jojo questions everything. So Jojo believes in their higher power, and I think me and Jules were talking about that. It's kind of like you, and we'll go to you next. Jojo believes there, but he's not really practicing. He skips out on church, and he's in touch with like, I believe there's someone, but I don't believe in this XYZ. I'm like, okay. So, and you said that would be agnostic?
Agnostic.
Now explain what agnostic is.
So, to me... So there's atheist and agnostic. Atheist is like you believe in nothing.
Right.
Like there's nothing out there. You're science-based.
Have you met a lot of more atheists nowadays? I feel like I'm meeting more and more people who's like, I'm atheist.
Well, I think people are just more comfortable expressing it because I just think social media and the kind of mainstream nowadays, like you're more comfortable expressing the non-mainstream social norms. So I feel like back in the day it was you had to kind of be a part of a religion.
Taboo.
But but agnostic to me is like you believe in something. You believe that there is something there. I don't necessarily believe that there is any one God out there. I'm kind of with JoJo on that, where I believe in manifestation. I believe in the law of the attraction, kind of more of like the divine spirituality, as to like, for me, if you're praying to Jesus, if someone's praying to Jesus, to me, that is speaking to your inner subconsciousness and you're manifesting and you're doing the law of attraction work. So, because I quote unquote, I guess, pray what people would describe it as, but I'm not praying to God. I'm not saying, dear God, or anything like that, or I have like some sort of routine. It's more me practicing my thoughts and having like just creating good energy and bringing anything that's good into my life. So that's kind of where I'm at. I will like my childhood was kind of weird though too. I had I believe I was baptized into Catholicism as a baby, but then that was kind of it. I didn't do anything else from that. And I was like a baby, so I don't even remember. But went to Christian churches kind of growing up until I was probably like 11 or 12. I went to Christian camp a couple of summers. I think, but for me, I think just from living in a divorced parent world and having siblings that were older, for me it was more of like a community, because I really loved going to the youth groups and I really loved hanging out with people that were my age, and it felt I think it was less the church and what I was learning and more me being a part of something and being a part of a group and having friends that all believed in one thing. So because I remember when we would all sing and pray together, I would like cry, like it would make me feel so good. But now as an adult I look back and I'm like, well, I don't really believe or agree with a lot of the practices that they were teaching. So that's where kind of like I am more on the agnostic side. I do believe that there's a higher power. I believe there's more to life than just science. I believe there is something out there, but I just can't put a finger on it, which is kind of scary.
That's what it is with the kids. I like the way that how they are when they leave church. whether they're with their mom, they get dropped off. They're in such a good mood and they want to share the songs and they have new friends. And I'm like, well, what's the alternative? You know, your kid just stays inside playing fucking Xbox, non-socials. Like if church is going to make you feel happy about yourself and you're singing songs and you're meeting new friends, like this is awesome. So who am I to tell my 9-year-old, like, no, you're not going to get baptized because, you know, so I'm excited that I think they're having the experience that you had. They feel good.
Yeah. And I think it's comforting too, because honestly, after death, a lot of people in religion like so you go to heaven or you go to hell or you go to this higher place or whatever religion, you know, you're in. If you aren't religious or you don't really believe in anything, I think it can be a little scary and it can be a little bit uncomforting because you don't really know what's on the other side. Yeah. At least you have something to kind of be like, this is what I'm working towards, this is what I'm doing. So to me, I think that there's a lot of comfort in that. But again, I'm just comfortable with the uncomfortable now. I'm just kind of like, whatever is there, or whatever is going to happen to me
pray to
is
heaven.
what it is.
You just explained me. Like, I want to feel comfort to be like, yeah, if I'm a good person, do well and try to be a better person, be a good father, heaven is awaiting me. That makes me feel better about myself.
But to me, I'm like, you should just want to be a good person.
You should.
You shouldn't want to be like, well, I'm scared of going to a dark place after death, so I need to try to be a good person. You should just want to be a good person to be a good person.
Yeah, but some people aren't, and then you got to put them in place. Like, you know, if you're not going, I think that's what happens with some religions. Like, you're not a bad person, you're going to go to hell. Maybe a little fear.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you're saying, though. It's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, Cience.
Where do I even start? Because I literally just spent half of my life in Catholic private school. So yeah, I was baptized literally months old. And then it's just a thing within our family. I think we're all Catholic, but I think a lot of my family's on the same page of we're Catholic, but we don't really practice. So just growing up in a Catholic school from kindergarten to 12th grade, I just had all of these habits of going to church and having that community, like Jules said, and it does make you feel good. But then once you kind of break out of that, I feel like there's a lot more the world has to offer, because for 12 years, all I knew was just what the Bible taught. And I will say that Catholicism is a huge God-fearing religion. That's just a fact. It's literally what it says in the Bible, that you're supposed to fear God so that way you can be a good person and reach heaven. So when I was being taught that all made sense. But then when you get out into the world, it's like, you wouldn't want, like, you don't think God wants you to fear him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think he's this higher being that's like kind. And so like, that's what I like to think. So I still believe in like a God. I don't think it's like more like Jules, but I'm just a lot more open-minded, and I don't really agree with a lot of the teachings that the Catholic Church does continue to teach. So I think just as an adult, it's been kind of an adjustment, because that's literally all I've been taught my entire life. And I will say, getting married in a church, I feel a bit hypocritical, because I personally didn't want to, or I didn't care to, but my husband really wanted to get married at a chapel because it was really beautiful.
Yeah.
Obviously we love God too, but he really wanted to get married in this chapel. And
I like the way you looked up.
Yeah, you're like sorry.
Side note, still in.
Yeah.
Still friends.
Yeah, sorry. Hear me? But there was a lot of things that I had to do leading up to our wedding that were just really invasive with my body. They wanted to make sure that I for sure was going to have kids. And now at this point in my life, right now, I do not want kids, but that's what they wanted for me. I had to do like these natural family planning courses to make sure that, like, if I'm going to get pregnant, it has to be a natural way. You can't use contraception. You can't be on birth control. You have to do it the natural way. You have to use your cycle. So it's just like things like that I thought were really intense, kind of like how JD said, but I've learned a lot, and I've kind of transitioned a lot, but I don't really know where I stand today. Like, I say, oh, I'm Catholic, but like, am I really Catholic?
Right.
You know, so I feel like it's all confusing.
You're a fake ass Catholic.
I'm a fake ass Catholic.
You're a fake ass Catholic. Do you eat fish on Fridays?
I do eat fish on Fridays.
Oh, okay.
And I practice Lent. But do I go to church? Only on Easter.
Only on Easter. Yeah. You know what I miss about the Catholic Church? I miss the churches. I feel like a sense of calm when you go into these big, beautiful churches. And when I was in Chicago, living out in Chicago for a year ago, they have the most beautiful old school churches. I just find them so beautiful. And just walking in, there's like a sense, for me, a sense of calm, of like just stained glass. When I just love great architecture. And there's nothing to me more calming than these beautiful architectural churches that when we go to these other churches, they're kind of new school. I don't like the new school the way, I mean, they have a cool sound system and a band. It's awesome. But I like those old school brick churches that are just beautiful.
Yeah.
And then the holidays when they have the choir, the kids singing.
And it's decorated all nice.
Yeah.
The stained glass windows.
Oh, it's so beautiful. That's what I miss about.
It is beautiful.
Yeah. Do you miss doing confessional?
That part I don't miss. I
Come
haven't been to
on.
confession in a while.
Sienna is out here.
Maybe I should go.
You should. Let's role play. It's time to role
Sienna,
play. All right.
finally, on the
Yes.
block.
Time for Sienna to do some role play. Okay, Sienna.
Okay.
JD, you're going to be the priest.
Why do I have to be the
JD,
fucking
because
priest?
I'm the narrator. I'm narrating right now.
Yep.
Okay.
In lieu of not having a priest in studio, we have JD.
I do have a biblical name.
Yes.
All right.
Just
Pope
Jesus.
John.
Yeah, there you go.
Just Jesus.
All right, so you're gonna go.
Just Jesus.
That's what Joey said.
Just
You're
Jesus.
Judas Joey.
Yeah. So, okay, you're gonna have to walk over there, JD. You're gonna do a confessional.
I'm kind of sick. I don't know if he
No.
wants me to hear him.
Oh, that's right. You're kind of
Yeah.
sick.
Should I hold like the notebook in between like a real confessional wall?
Yes, we got to paint the picture.
Is there like a screen? or
Okay,
something?
yeah, you can do it from there. Yes.
Okay, well, yeah. Okay. this
Okay,
is
wait.
just-
Explain how I've never done it. So when you walk in,
You walk in and there's a little statement you have to make to the priest.
what do you say? What do you say?
You cross yourself and you say, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. My last confession was 10 years ago."
Okay.
Then
Hey,
tell me that you want to hear my confessions.
I would love to hear your confessions.
Okay, so Father, I'm not too proud of this, but I lied. I don't even know, what did I sin about? I lied the other day to my husband.
Dun dun dun.
I told him I was somewhere else, but I really wasn't there.
Do they talk back to you?
Yes, they give me advice.
Well, there's a part of me that wishes you just kept your mouth shut, and none of that would happen. Part 2, why weren't you cooking? Part 3, you are forgiven in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Oh, you don't want to hear any of my other sins?
Anything else?
I got really too drunk in San Diego. I surpassed the limit of what's acceptable in the Catholic Church.
What were you drinking?
Everything under the sun. Green tea shots, tequila,
Doesn't
Topo Chicos.
Oh yeah. Doesn't the priest at some point he makes you do something like rosary?
Penance, yeah.
What is it called?
A penance.
A penance?
How is it phrased?
Give me, so your penance is 10 Hail Marys.
Your penance is 10 Hail Marys.
Okay, thank you. And then he makes you say this long ass prayer at the end, but I don't remember what it is.
Oh, okay.
I don't know
And
what
then you got
that
to do
is.
10.
I
I'll just
heard
go,
like football.
hey.
You're like
Hail Mary.
catching
tell him you're
up. You gotta
sorry.
run yards.
Lego Jesus. So Hail Mary, if he had to do 10 of them, what would you do?
You just go out and then you go to the kneelers and pray 10 Hail Marys and you are forgiven. But he cleanses you, so that's like the whole
got
thing.
you.
Yeah. I also never lied to my husband, so I wanted to make that clear. I just couldn't think of anything on spot.
But you did get drunk in San
I
Diego.
did get very drunk in San Diego, so Jesus would not be very happy with me.
Interesting. I've only ever seen confessions done in movies.
Me too.
I've never even
Same.
like witnessed
Yeah.
it.
I always wanted to. I was wondering like if I could ever do it, but then I would wonder if I really would confess to my sins because in certain parts of my youth.
I'd be in there for like a fucking week.
Oh yeah, there was times where I would literally not say bad things I did over the
Yeah, how many
weekend.
times would the priest drop his Bible because Jules was in there? He's like, oh, Lord.
God.
It would burn in his hand.
Yes. I think I'd make him like run out crying. He's like, I quit. Make the fucking
Jules
priest
goes in
quit.
for the holy water, starts boiling. It's supposed to boil when you touch the holy water.
Oh yeah, freaking confession. There's
God.
sometimes where you have to sit face to face to them. You would get options if you want the screen or you sit face to face. Yeah, and then
Screen every time.
yeah,
Yeah, that's like when they offer the wafer where you want it in your hand or they give it to you.
yeah. And
Take
if
them
you
out.
didn't go to confession, you're not cleansed, so you can't necessarily take the body of Christ when you're under sin.
Oh, man,
dog.
there's so many
you have to-
rules.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
so
can't
many
raw dog
rules.
through that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can't raw dog your sins.
You can't raw dog your sins.
You can't raw dog anyone
You're not, yeah.
until you're ready. Till you're
yeah. Not till marriage.
Not to marriage. And then when you're married, you're supposed to raw dog. You can't
Yes.
use condoms.
Yeah, you can't use
you literally
condoms.
have to raw dog.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're
you-
supposed to.
It's in God's
Yeah.
hands of whether you get pregnant or not.
This church I've been going to, the kids love it because it's like going to a freaking concert, like a rock concert. It's that Impact Church.
I know. That's
Sure.
it's the experience is what Jules was
Have
talking
you been
about.
there?
I have seen so much of Impact. Is it Impact, right?
Yeah.
Like, I've seen so many.
It
clips of
really
that.
does feel good when I leave there. I'm like, man, I don't know, man. I feel pretty good. And the kids love it because daddy's in a good mood. Like, let's go out to
Yeah.
lunch now. Let's go.
Right.
It is pretty cool that I feel that spirit. I feel like, oh, that felt good, and my kids are happy. And Dad, you want to hear the song? And Dad, look what we drew. And I'm like, that feels pretty freaking good.
I will say I have experienced like other religions as well. A part of my family, they are Jewish. So I've been to a couple of bar mitzvahs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's very interesting how they go through that entire process as well. Like my nephew had to memorize like an hour and a half worth of Hebrew.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
it's insane. Like it's a lot.
Yeah.
And then my best friend in high school, she was Mormon. She was part of the Church of Latter-day Saints.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually went to church with her one time and experienced the full 3 hours. It's
intense.
It's very intense. It's very intense. So basically, it's broken up into 3 parts. From my own personal experience, but the first part was basically it was set up like in a way it was kind of almost like confessionals. People would get up onto a podium and they would talk about things that were going on in their lives and what they were struggling with, and people would pray for them. And that was the first hour.
Huh.
And then the second hour, you would break up into your age groups. And so then we went into like a youth group type of thing, and we did.
you enjoyed
that. I did enjoy that.
Youth
I
group.
liked being around people my age that I could
Makes
talk
sense.
to other things. The third hour was broken into gender. And that's where I got a little about it. So, because all the men went together, all the women, and some of the things that they were preaching and teaching young women and how to act in their
that's
lives.
when you checked out.
That's when I checked out.
I was gonna. Oh, I know you guys all went. This is one of the reasons I feel like if I went to college, I would have either majored or minored in religion. I find religion very, very interested. Probably because I was raised on 3 different types. I would love to go to different people's.
Yeah.
Like,
Totally.
I would love to do
can.
it just
No
for
one's
the
stopping you.
experience. Yeah, like I would love. I've always wanted to go to a bar mitzvah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are certain Mormon churches, too, and like certain days that they're celebrating that you are not allowed to enter if you are not Mormon.
Gotcha.
You are not.
You have to be practicing.
You have to be practicing.
Right.
You have to be like in the Latter-day Saints in order to like enter. I went to Salt Lake City one time and they were having a giant convention.
Oh, that's the Super Bowl of Mormons right there.
Super Bowl of Mormons.
Yeah.
They don't even have beer over 3% in Utah or in Salt Lake City.
What?
That's why they deserve a hockey team.
Yeah, and you can only buy 2 shots if you're at the bar, like for your own person.
Oh, they
Only buy
clocking
2.
in money because you have to buy at least 8 different.
It's insane. But yeah, basically there was a huge convention.
Wow.
They went to the main church out there, and yeah, you were not allowed to step foot inside that church all
Interesting.
week. Because if you're not,
You know which one I would love to try? And I have some friends that are a Buddhist.
yes,
That sounds like a really like when I hear what their beliefs are, and they're very,
Yes,
very
very
zen. It's
peaceful.
very peaceful.
Yeah.
I have a very, very great
yeah,
friend.
it's very demure,
Freddie,
very mindful.
very demure. He's talked me off the ledge quite a few times.
Yeah.
Because he has this Buddhist ways and this level of talking to me. Like let me be frank, man. This is the Aftermath podcast. When I was going through the divorce, I was angry. I was so fucking mad at my ex. And now we're in a great place, but I was so mad that she was giving up on us. Like 20 years off and on, I was just so fucking mad that it got to the point where I didn't talk to her. And then it got to the point where, okay, we're going to have to start getting the divorce and the paperwork. And I was angry. My mind was running wild that she's going to hit me for half of my shit. So I was telling my friend this. He's like, you need to relax. He's like, why are you? He's like, because we're going to go through this. If she takes half my shit, well, why are you mad? Because she's taking half my shit. I worked so hard in life, this radio thing, to buy this house, to get this car. I'm going to have to sell the fucking house, get the money, give her half, blah, blah, and I've worked for. He's like, but what if she did that? What would you have? I'd have half. He's like, exactly. And I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, you're right. Just like that. I was like, you're right. He's like, she's the mother of your children. I'm like, you're right. I was like, so it'd be bad if she went to the courts and you had to sell everything and give her half your money. And it's like, but if she did, you probably won't have the same relationship. I hope it doesn't go that way. But if she did, the worst case scenario, you still got half.
Yep.
And that changed my mind. And I was like, man, I think I just became Buddhist. And like the way he talked to me within that little rant of 5 minutes changed my mind and my mindset. And everything was great after that because I asked her, I was like, do you want me to sell the house? Take half? She's like, no, I don't want that. What do you want? And then we didn't decide to do any lawyers. I just talked to her calmly. But if he didn't have that conversation with me, I might have flew off the handle where she would have been like, well, I wasn't, but now I fucking am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's all about finding your own inner peace.
Yes.
Like you're not living under a fear of anything.
Absolutely. It's the
all
fear of
this.
what she's going to do. And when he broke it down to me, it's like, you're right. Even if she did, like, okay, Well, we'll sell the house. Here's your half. Good luck with everything. I would have been mad because I've been working on this house for so long. But he was right. She's the mother of my children. I love her. And now we're in a great place. And she didn't get me for the house. We settled out, and this is how much I'm going to give you. And I'm taking care of all the kids' needs. And it was great. And we have a great co-parenting thing. But that Buddhist thing, I think I might want to go to those temples at one point.
Yeah, I feel like it would refrain me from jumping to conclusions.
Right.
Because I
Definitely.
would be hopping. to
We're a
jump
lot
to
the same.
conclusions. Oh, yeah.
The way we're raised and us being Libras, I know you don't care about that stuff, but me and Sienna are very much the same of fears,
Yes.
overthinking, conclusions. It's just like,
You just immediately are like, I'm fucked.
And then immediately I try to think of like things to, if that were to happen, I just think of the solutions. I'm thinking of 10 different solutions. Of,
or
like, okay,
you
what do I
get
do
in that mind frame of you're already mad. Nothing's happened.
Yeah.
Why am I mad?
You know what? My mom had a quote, freaking magnet to our fridge. She still asks me this question all the time, but this situation reminded me of it. But the question is, would you rather be right or would you rather be happy?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So like, if anything, when you were getting upset, it's a fucking thought-provoking question. Because like, I mean, when I was little, I'd be like, right? Because if I'm right, that makes me happy, and that's how I would answer it all the time. But I think the more I grow up, I'm like, no. What would you rather have?
Oh, back in the days, I'd rather be right.
Exactly.
But nowadays, I
you're
just
unhappy.
like, fuck it, you're right. I don't care. Yes, the sky is purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still want to be right.
You're still there.
Yeah.
But that's your truth.
That's my truth.
If I'm right, then I'm happy.
Yeah, my
So I
husband
do get
hates
both.
that shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's like,
That's
you
what I was
literally
saying.
can't confess that you're wrong. And I'm like, no. Like, literally, grass is green. And I'll be like, no, it's not. It's pink. He's like, are you fucking serious? Anyway,
Yeah.
that's just me.
Confess that to me,
So
right?
I don't know. Think about that question later on.
That's a great question.
So yeah, whenever you're like really having that internal conflict.
Would you rather be right or happy? I like that. I'm gonna get that tattooed. I've been looking for a new phrase.
There you go.
Yeah, right here. And then I'll circle right. Rather be fuck you. I'd rather be right.
Yeah.
And also
a big
with
one
you.
is let go and let God.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
Yeah. I've seen that
There
one.
you go. Hallelujah.
Are we ready for some life advice?
Yes.
All right, this has become a staple on the podcast where people DM or hit Jules up about needing life advice from one of the members here of the Morning Mess. She spins the wheel, and one of us gives somebody some life advice. And it looks like today's advice is coming from...
Callie_stars. Callie Stars.
Oh, Callie Star.
Oh, she's a morning messenger.
Yeah,
She's
we love
always...
Callie
Yeah.
Stars.
Callie.
Even if my name does not land on this, I can talk with you later, but how do you stay strong going no contact with one of your parents?
How do you go strong doing no contact with one of your parents?
Yeah, so if you go no contact with your parent, how kind of some advice to get through that? How do you stay strong?
Okay.
I was unprepared for the wheel. I have it. Give me.
It's coming up.
Yeah. I don't even, if it lands on me, I don't even know how to answer that.
Like no contact, like you guys are upset at
Yeah,
each
like you have a
other?
bad relationship, maybe?
I mean, that's
You go
No
no.
contact.
I
Maybe
it's
there was
just
a
no contact.
Yeah.
If there was a disagreement, maybe if you are upset at each other, or if you just need to take time for yourself, or
Gotcha.
whatever you
Yeah,
need.
I got the jiggity jam
Okay.
on that.
Okay. Hopefully it lands on John here.
Jam.
Just Jesus.
Here we go. Who's it going to land on? Who's giving life advice? Change Callie Star's life for the rest of her world.
All right.
Jules, perfect.
You're up.
Manifest.
Right. Well, I went no contact with my mother for 2 years, so I guess
Really?
I have advice. Yes, I did. There was a lot that happened with the reasoning as to why. I won't get too deep into it, but once it did happen, I was knocked on my ass. I was young. I was like 20, 21. So for me personally, once we went no contact, I had to go through a lot and learn a lot. So I kind of had to get my shit together and kind of just grow up really fucking quickly, and just kind of take care of shit and get shit done. But as much as I wanted to just like call her, apologize for shit that maybe I didn't feel like I was actually sorry for, or things that I didn't agree with, I kind of held out and held strong and maybe put myself in some situations I didn't really want to be in.
You wanted to be right.
I wanted to be right. Right, correct. But I think I also wanted to kind of learn how to create a set of boundaries that I did not have with her before. I think when we were in each other's life, I didn't know how to kind of have a relationship on my terms, like in a sense. She hates that, but anyway, I think we both grew a lot and learned a lot from not speaking for 2 years. I think once we kind of rekindled our relationship again, we were able to have like a very much of a heart-to-heart cry sesh and just like really open up and be like honest about some of the things that we were never really able to admit or acknowledge that were wrong in our relationship.
And how long ago was it that you guys rekindled the relationship?
I want to say we rekindled in like September of 2022.
Okay.
So yeah, so we didn't speak really from like 2020, 2022.
Oh, and that was a time that you need mom and dad during pandemic.
And I was graduating college.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on in my life where I did feel that. I had some like crazy roommates at the time. I had to like break a lease. I was living with a freaking homeless man. That's a whole another story for another day. But I will say, I think if you're going no contact, just stay strong as much as you can. I think for whatever reason it might be, but if it's for a reason where like you need to create boundaries or you need to find kind of your own inner self and learn how to have a relationship with your parent that might need to be on your own terms, do it and stay strong for as long as you need to until you feel that you are in a place where you aren't getting triggered every 2 seconds and you aren't getting boiled up with this anger and all of this other things that maybe your parent is causing you to feel, or you're causing them too. Because I know for sure I wasn't bringing my mother all this fucking joy and happiness all the time.
Yeah.
But I was just very angry and I was very unhappy as well. So I think it was very much needed. Now we talk way more often. We laugh a lot more. I think there's still a lot of things we need to work on as within our relationship. But I will say, I think if I did not do those 2 years, I think our relationship would be very much more rocky.
So take a break. Take a break. It's all right. It's like just take a break. Yeah,
take a break. You don't need to cut your family out, but it's okay to like figure yourself out. Like if it really is.
What's my favorite B word?
Come on, this is a religious podcast.
Biatch.
Oh, boundaries. That boundaries.
Boundaries.
This is the third, fourth time I've heard that in the past month. Of that word is so powerful for me. Talking to someone that was catching up with, and they kept using that word of how their whole life has changed. Whole life by creating boundaries with your family and friends. Yes. This is what I will deal with. This is what I will not. Right. And they've been sticking to that. And they just are so, I can tell by the way they sound. Yep. They're just so different just by creating boundaries.
And that's key though, sticking to it.
You got to stick to it.
That's what the break.
Yeah.
That's what taught me, because if I did not do that much long, I couldn't stick to it. I was setting these boundaries and then letting them slide, and then I couldn't do it.
Can't. You got to put that barricade up. My other B word I like.
Exactly.
So Callie, set them boundaries, write them down, kind of make sure you're comfortable with that, and then telling your mom or dad or both, I don't know what the situation is, but creating those boundaries, delivering that to them. This is what I will deal with, what I will not deal with. If you respect that, then we can have our relationship. Exactly. I like that. Yeah. I love that.
Oh boy, did God want you to answer that question.
I think so. You saw that? I'm grateful now because my mom and I have a great relationship and I love her, and I'm so happy that we're able to move forward, because I think if that didn't happen, it might have ruined it for forever. So we know with
your mom, you've been on the show, what, 4 months, 5 months? How long?
I think almost 4.
Almost 4 months. She pops up on our IG Live.
Yes,
you
she's my biggest supporter.
She loves really you, so you couldn't even tell there was a rift for 2 years. Like she loves her. Yeah. Some jewels. So that's very that's good that you guys are in that spot.
I love you, Mom.
Kelly Duff, if you are in the East Coast, you need a house.
Yes.
Kelly Duffy.
Kelly Duffy Realtor. Shouting her out, Instagram, buy a house from her, New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
She'll hook it up.
Callie, I hope that helps you out, but create those boundaries, and I hope that helps you out with your situation. And maybe your parents can do the same. Create boundaries with you, because maybe you're not all in the right. Some things might be wrong. Maybe your parents need a little boundaries from you as well. So hopefully that works out and that helps out with your situation. All right, we're getting called into a meeting because nothing is more important than mandatory staff meetings about other radio stations.
There better be pizza.
Wait, didn't they say
there's tacos?
Tacos. Let's go. Me and Cien's are feeling a little under the weather, so tacos would help.
Yes, tacos.
Tacos.
Even though I need some soup, but I'll take tacos any day.
Yes.
Still cure me.
All right. Subscribe, The Morning Mess. We're so close. This close. I'm thinking of JD when I do this. We're this close of JD getting a full body wax.
Are you referring to penis size?
No, because we are so close subscribers. Like, we're like at 700. We need like 300. That's like 300 subscribers. And then he's going to get a full body.
Why are you looking at me?
So it's true story.
Defend me.
No defense there. Sorry, John.
We're so close. JD, he's a trooper. He's agreed to get a whole body wax when we get 1,000 subscribers. So share this, comment, like. Yes, do the subscriptions, but tell your friends. We're going to get them full body waxed, and yep.
Let's go.
You're going to see all of it.
My eyes.
Yeah.
Come on, Socks. You got this.
Yeah, we'll see you on the radio, and we'll see you on the next podcast.
The Aftermess.
Jesus walks. Jesus walks with me.